Good afternoon, everybody. How's everybody doing? Let's see. It's working. It's working. I'm not sure if I'm live yet. Okay, I think we're on now. All righty. How's everybody doing this afternoon? I am doing good. My name is Michaela, and I'm in Middleburg, Florida. I am the owner and operator of Paint Fixation, and I'm going to show you some things I've been working on with some molds. I've got some glitchy stuff going on here. Hey Wilma, this is weird. Is the video glitching for you, Wilma? I'm bouncing around a lot on here. I'm not sure what's going on. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I don't know what's wrong with it. Is the video coming through okay for you guys? Because for me, it's kind of glitching. I mean, I don't know. It's weird. Okay. Well, maybe it'll work itself out. Hey, Melissa. It's not okay. It's not glitching. Okay. I'm just now getting y'all's comments. Okay. It's weird. For me, it's kind of making me look like a little robot. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. Let me open this up. Okay. Comments. Whoa. Hang on. It's weird. Okay. All right. I'm back. Okay, I think I got it. I don't know what is going on with my thing, but we're just gonna, if you all say it's okay, then I'm okay. All right, so I have made some molds. I've made them in the past, but I made them a little bit different yesterday. And I added, I also make soap. Every year I make soap at Christmas time, and then I always have enough left over. It must be my computer because my phone's not glitching. I'm sorry, it's distracting. So I make soap every year, and then I have soap for the rest of the year. And this past year, I bought this product called Resin pigments, and you can use it with soaps. You can use it with, let's see, it says on here for resin, soap, candles, slime, bath bombs, paint, and art. So I've only ever used it with my soap, but I thought I'm going to try it with the molds and see what happens. So it comes in a container like this. It's got 20, I think there's 25 different colors in here. There's just, these are the ones I've used. There's just all colors of blues and pinks and purples and greens. There's black, there's steel, platinum, and they come out to about $1 a bag. And I have yet to use even a half of a bag. And I made a few batches of soap with them. And then yesterday I made a few batches of resin with them. And I didn't have as much resin left as I thought I did. And so I'm going to show y'all at least one batch, how I did it. I might be able to get 2 batches out of this. But first I want to show you the difference in the 2 resins that I use before I show you the colors. Okay, and let me take a sip of my coffee. Give myself a little boost. Okay, so there's 2 kinds that I use. Now, one of these, we have these on Dixie Belle's website. It's not this brand, but it's the casting resin. It's the pouring resin. So it's clear. It's like this one. It's not the same brand, but it's a very similar product. And this one here takes about it says 24 to 48 hours, but I was able to pull them out of the molds because it's such a small amount. I was able to pull them out about 12 hours after I put them in here. This is really my favorite one because I don't know if it's because it sits in the mold longer and it has longer to, form the detail. But for me, this type of resin, the pouring resin, seems to give a lot better detail. Now, the other one gives really good detail too, and I'll show you. It's just not as good. And the other thing about this one is a casting resin, and it's ready to pull out of the mold in 10 minutes. So you have a very small window to work with. In fact, I'll show you on one of mine, a boo-boo I made because I was texting the customer and I forgot I had already stirred it up, and so I had a mess. But so this one's 10 minutes and done, but it turns white. So this is the one that turns white when it's ready to pull out of the mold. So either one of these are perfect for putting on furniture and painting. If you look on my website or my business page, you'll see a few pieces that I've done. I've done clay pots with it. I've added them to pictures. Let's see. I should have pulled out here. I've got one on here. So this is one. This is when I first got it, and so this is one I was just playing with one day. This is just the, this is resin. This is not the modeling clay. So there's also a modeling material that you can get, and that's this. And I'll show you how this is used too. This one takes longer to dry, but you don't have to, it doesn't have to be fully dried. In fact, you don't really want it to be fully dried if you're going to mold it around something. So when it's almost dried, you can take it out and mold it around like a pot or something like that, glue it on. And you can't heat it back up. So it's kind of like you use it, you make it, you use it, and unless you're doing a flat surface, and then you can use it on a flat surface after it's already been made. But this is just a resin mold that I used. I glued these on when they were done plain, and then I painted them with the board. You don't have to do it this way. You can paint them first and then glue them on. It just depends on whatever look you're going for. And so that kind of led me to today. So I used, I couldn't use the artisan pigment with this one. So I used both the white and the clear. I'm going to show you the difference in the colors. I'm really liking it. And so tomorrow at 4, hey Stephanie. Tomorrow at 4, I'm going to do a live, and I'm going to show you. So I'm going to put some on a canvas. So I threw this together real quick earlier just to kind of get an idea of what I wanted it to look like. I'm going to show you how I got this look. There's a little bit of gilding wax on here. I'm not sure if that's exactly how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to be putting some molds on the canvas tomorrow. I'm not going to have time. I don't want to do it today. I'm going to do it. I'll do it tomorrow. And I'm going to show you how I got these colors. I actually used my color guide to come up with this color scheme. And tomorrow I'll explain to you how I ended up with this using the color guide. So let me show you the molds that I did. These are the ones I have. Now on Dixie Belle's website, I don't have these on my website because the stock changes so much. If there's a few left on Dixie Belle's site. If you see one on there and you want to purchase it, just let me know and I can order it for you. Otherwise, you can get these on Etsy. You can get them. You can get any redesign with Prima retailer. You can get them. But I have all kinds. So I have some leaves. That one's called Leafy Blossoms. This one's In Bloom. This one, some of these I have them written on. This one I don't have it written on the back. This is little bluebells. I love this one. I did a cedar chest with this, and it turned out really pretty. This one's called Winter Blooms. This is another really pretty one. The same leaf as before. I've got a couple of those because I use them a lot. And this one here. And then I have some that are, here's some bees and some butterflies, some clocks, some roping. And these are a little bit more ornate. This is called Baroque Swirls. I don't have the name on this one. This is a really thick one. I've only used this one a couple of times. It uses a lot of resin. And then this one is called In the Garden. This is another one that I use quite frequently. And I'm going to use one of these in just a minute with the resin. But let me show you some of the colors I came out with. So, all right. So these here I made. I'm going to turn you down just a little bit so you can see the grouping I have here. Okay, so these here, I'm going to show you. Let me pull out the colors that I used and show you the difference. And if you do it on white or if you do it on clear. Okay, so this is the color that I use. This is called Glacier, and it's in the bag. And it's just a very fine powder. It's actually all over me. It's kind of like, it kind of reminds me of when you're working with glitter. And this is what it looks like when you put it with the white resin. And that's what I have left today. So this is what we're going to be working on, is the white resin. I don't have any clear. Now this is the same, oh, don't tell me I didn't do one. I didn't do this color in the clear. Darn it. I can do the greens. Here, let me show you the difference in the greens. Okay, so here's another one that I did. And you can see I used 2 different colors in the same mold. And you can see on the backs of them how it's kind of molded together. Okay. And so I poured a little bit, I poured this blue in there, and then I added the green, and then I just kind of pulled them with a popsicle stick together so they would kind of go together. So this is what these 2 colors, this is this color, the Glacier blue. Okay, you can see how it's different with the white. And then this is also, where'd it go? And the green. Let me pull the green out. That's what I was looking for. Green, green, green. I should have had these out. I wasn't even sure I was going to make it on here today. Today's been a whirlwind. I got so much stuff going on. Okay, so this is sage. And you can see it's very similar to the color in the white resin. But look at it in the clear resin. Look how much richer that color is. And I really like this, the way these turned out, because of the flowers. If you look at the green, you know how when plants are blooming and you get a bud and it's green, and then as it opens up, it turns into the color that it's supposed to be. I feel like that's what this looks like. Here's another one. So I know that bluebells are usually blue, but what I did was I mixed 2 colors. I mixed the red and the blue. I have some red. This is what the red looks like plain by itself. Okay. So I mixed this color with the other blue, and I got the purple. Okay. I just mixed them up real good. And I just love the way it turned out. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I love the way that this all turned out. Okay. I just feel like it looks, I don't know, I think it looks really cool. And then this one is the same 2 colors. And look at this one. Look at how that, so I put in the green first in the mold, and then I just kind of pulled it through, and I'll show you on this one how I did it. Okay. So I took the green and I put it in like in the bottom by the leaves. Okay, I started it here, and then I took my popsicle stick and I just pulled it in just a little bit. Hey, Aunt Kate. I just pulled it in a little bit here. I got your message. I'll call you back. I was busy getting ready for this, but I'll call you back when we get off. Pulled in the green, and then I added the purple, and then just kind of a little bit swirled it together. So I really think that turned out very cool. And this is what I'm going to use tomorrow on this. I'm going to put something together on this. What do y'all think? You think that's going to look good? So we've got a few different colors. We've got some gilding wax going, but I've got another canvas that I'm going to work on with that tomorrow for. Okay, so the big one, I have this one. I did the same thing. Okay, the purple and the green. And so this is the same green. Look how different it looks. So this is the white resin, the fast acting resin, and this is the clear resin. And this is the same color green. Okay. So it's like adding white to your color, basically. It just lightens it up. I hear my husband out there yelling at the dog. Okay. So then I also had a purple that it was in here that I used. Not purple. What color was it? I think it was that purple that I mixed up. No. What was it? This one? No, I don't remember. But I had these. So this is the white, and okay, this is the one where I goofed. So I had mixed up this gold. This is the gold. Let me show you that one. It's really pretty. It's a true gold. Okay. So I mixed it up, and the fast-acting resin. And I was going to try and make it look, you know, kind of like this, kind of meshed in together. But I forgot I had mixed it up, and I got a text from a customer, so I was busy with that. So then it just turned into glob. So I basically just stuffed it into these 3 molds, you can see. Okay, and then I ended up losing the rest of it. I had to throw the rest of it out. That's how fast it works. So I just kind of pushed this into the mold, and you know, I'm practicing with this. This is not something I've done before. It was something new that I tried. And then the other colors, okay, so then I did some green and blue with the white. Okay, so these are little green and blue bluebells. Okay, and you can use any color and you can pull it through. I don't sell this pigment stuff. I got it on Amazon. You can get the resin, like I said, on the Dixie Belle website. You can, if you want, I can order it for you. If you want it, just private message me. I don't have it on my website. I can put it on there. I just don't put some of the products that come and go. Hey, Wendy, everybody's on. Because I'm always afraid they're going to not have the inventory for these products. Okay, and here's the big one. And this one I use the red. And so that's this color. Okay, so this is this color. It's called Shiraz. Okay, and that's what it looks like. And you can see where some of the resin, some of the pigment didn't get mixed in all the way. Okay, and this is the same color and the clear. Okay, and I didn't have enough resin. I wanted to do this a dual color on this, but what I did do was I put some gilding wax on it. Look at that. So this is the gold gilding wax, and I just took a little bit on my finger, and I just hit the highlights with it. And the thing is, you know, if I decided to, I could use so I have a whole bucket of these. I make mine ahead of time, and I throw them in here because I can use my blow dryer to heat them up. And I'm going to show you, I can show you that on this pot that I have over here. So I hit that with some gold gilding wax. I thought that looked really, really pretty. I mean, you could use any of the Dixie Belle gilding waxes for that. Okay. And then I also used gilding wax I used red on something. So one of the goofs that I did, I wanted these leaves to be two-tone, kind of like this, but I didn't use enough red. I had too much green, and so the back side of it really is the way I want it to look. This is the front side of it. So now I know next time, you know, what to do differently. I need to add a little bit of red first and then add my green. Learning curve. I'm figuring it out. Okay. I thought that was cool. But I've got this red gilding wax. Okay. And if I wanted to just give this some more character, I can just hit the leaf with a little gilding wax. Like that. Oops, let me get it. I don't know if it's going to, come on now. Sometimes it doesn't want to, and my camera's glitching so bad. But you can, I hope you can kind of see that. Let me pull it back some, maybe it'll, but you get the picture, right? Okay, then I thought, okay, these are all colored and they're beautiful. Like this one, this is cute. This has got green and blue in it. Okay, this one's got purple and green. So this is the white resin. You can see how it's just kind of a matte look. And this is the clear resin. And see how that looks like, I just think it's cool. It looks like a bud that's turning. Okay, it's like spring, it's turning. So then I got my black out and I thought, okay, let's do some with black. Like I said, I didn't have as much resin. These are the light blue. Those are pretty. You could put gilding wax and you can paint these too. So you can paint them and, you know, you could add color to it, or you could paint right over the whole thing like I did on the other one. You don't have to if it doesn't turn out. Like you haven't ruined it. If you use if you add some pigments to it, You haven't ruined it. I would like to experiment with paint. I'm not sure if that would work, but and it did take the fast acting resin did take a little teeny bit longer to dry than than it would without the pigmentation. But these are some black ones that I did, and I added a little bit of titanium just to give it some shimmer. So this is onyx and titanium. So this is just the black and the titanium, onyx and the titanium mixed together a little bit. And I just put a little bit of the titanium in there just to give it a little bit more shimmer. And on this one, I think it turned out really cool. I added red down by the center. Isn't that cool looking? So you can see on the back, see how the red is, I kind of dolloped it in there and then pushed it in and moved it around a little bit. Probably would get more effect if I put the red in first, but I kind of like the way this looks because it's kind of peeking through. And then I could take the red gilding wax and add some to the tips of the leaves if I wanted to. And just even on the edges here, that's pretty. I'm just, giving you some alternatives for your projects, your crafts, your furniture. These can go on anything. You could put these on your furniture. You can put them on pots, flower pots, canvas. I'm going to show you tomorrow how to put it on canvas. So with a little bit of gilding wax, look at that. Doesn't that turn out pretty? And you could use it, I'm thinking even on the smaller flowers and stuff, you could make earrings and stuff out of these. It'd be really cool. And so here's some more black ones. I didn't get enough red in these to really give it the punch that I wanted it, but I can use the gilding wax to do that if I wanted. Okay, so that's pretty, I did little butterflies. I think if I did these again, I would take more time and do a couple different colors, maybe, to make these different colors. And I did these with the white. I didn't do it with the clear. I like the punch of the clear better. Lisa, I made the molds with the resin. I'm going to actually do one for you right now. And then I'll show you some little things that I threw together to what you can do with them. But I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, okay? Before it gets cold. I'm going to set it over there. Okay, so I don't have any more of the clear. I used it all yesterday. I thought I had a whole bottle of it, but I only had a half. So I'm going to have to order some more of that. And I'm thinking about ordering like a gallon of it because I'm really digging this. I'm going to play with it a little bit. Ooh, where are my scissors? I'm going to show you how I mix up my stuff. Hang on. There they are. Okay. So the thing about resin, when you use it, you have to make sure that it has to be equal amounts. Okay. I have made the mistake, if you don't use equal amounts, it either won't dry or it'll dry too fast, depending on which medium is too much. So that comes with these little containers, and I bought a whole bag of them because I play with this stuff quite a lot. I've done, my friend Melissa, I don't know if she's still on here, but I did a pour. I painted Dixie Belle paint on top of a table. I kind of did a drippy look on top of a table, and then I did a resin pour on top. And it made it look like the whole thing was resin. It kind of gave it a 3D effect. It turned out really pretty. And depending on how much we have of this, we might do more than one. But let's do a color that I haven't used yet. Let's see what's in here. Let's grab one out of this bag. I haven't used any of these. Here's Scarlet. Let's try this one. And I didn't measure the pigmentation. I just eyeballed it. And we'll do these flowers right here. Okay. And let me move this stuff so you can see what I'm doing. I think from what I can tell, y'all can see everything. And if I can get 2 colors out of this, I'll try and do, let me see. Okay, I'm gonna do this big one. I think I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, let's see how much we have. Maybe I'll do half and half and do, hey, Melissa. Okay, I think I'm gonna, yeah, so you have part A and part B. So this is B, okay? And this is the fast acting. So once I get started, I may not be able to talk because I have to concentrate. I don't do well with paint. Once I get busy with something, I forget that I don't forget about y'all. I just forget to talk to you. Okay, so this is part A, and they go in 2 separate containers. I might have enough in here to do a second color in here. Let's see if we can make it look. I'm not sure. I didn't do a 2-part color on the bigger ones. So then what I do to make this easier for me is I cut my cup so that when I'm pouring it, and of course the cups I had yesterday were a lot thinner, but I cut it shorter because I don't have long sticks. It just works better for me. That goes up, in trash. So now I have my little container. And they're both of these are going to go in here. Now, I don't know if anybody on here is an expert in resin. So if you are and I do something wrong, please shout out. But this is the way I did it yesterday, and I love the way it turned out. So I put my pigment in here first a couple times, and then a couple times I put it in after. But I'm just going to put it in first. I'm going to eyeball it. And I have a full container here, so I'm going to go a little bit heavier because I want pretty good pigmentation. Okay. I'm going to set that aside. Now I have my little popsicle stick. And I'm going to pour in 1 part, and I'm going to scrape it out as good as I can. You don't want to waste any. And if I'm doing a lot of batches of these, then I always keep these separate. I keep them next to the bottle that it came out of. Okay, and here's the second part. Now I'm going to have to work. So this is where with this resin, you have to work kind of fast. It's not like stressful fast, but you don't want to give, you know, like I did yesterday and answer the telephone. And then you want to stir it really good. This is really important, especially if you're using the casting resin. You have a lot more working time, and you want to make sure it's really stirred up because this is what makes it, you know, get hard. And you can start to feel it get warm as it works. It starts to warm up. And this is, when you're looking at it like this, it looks very similar to what your clear resin would look like with these colors. Okay. And I'm just going to go in the tops. And don't worry about it getting on the edge or anything because it comes off really easy once it starts to dry. I got this on Amazon. You can get this. Lisa, I can order this for you. Now I don't have any video on my computer. I guess y'all can still see me on here though, because I see that it's still on. Okay, so I'm going to just put that much in there. I'm going to go ahead and quickly pour some of this in these flowers. And I'll do one here and one here. And I can feel it starting to get thick. And I'm taking my little popsicle stick and just getting it in the little cracks and crevices, making sure it's everywhere it should be. And of course, if you can see this, I didn't fill it all in. I'm going to make another batch. Okay, so I'm going to leave those like that. This is an experiment. So let's go with chartreuse. Let's make it like this, see? And I'm going to cut another. You can't use the same cup. You have to use a separate cup because that one's already starting to get hard. And y'all might be able to see I don't know what's been going on with this computer. Okay. Judy says I'm funny. Some people might agree and some people might not. Okay, so I'm going to just, whatever's left in here. So I'm going to pour this first and see what I have left. Oh, wow. Okay, I've got a whole other, so I might be able to do some more leaves with this. And I'm just eyeballing it, making sure they're both even. Put this to the side. I probably have another half of a shot with that. And then I'm going to do some chartreuse. And you can see, can y'all see in the video how some of these are starting to turn? So before we're done here, we're going to be able to pull those out. What color? What are the colors on the tables behind me? That's collard greens and Spanish moss. Y'all, you're trying to trick me, Debbie. It's collard greens and Spanish moss. And I've had them at the shop, and they're glass tops. They're not getting a lot of interest, so I'm thinking about painting them over again. I don't usually repaint, but I don't really have any furniture to paint right now. And I need something to do. And I'm not doing everything else. But I'm excited because today I applied for a second Dixie Belle location. I'm going to be in a new shop. I'm getting a booth in a shop in Fleming Island. I'm very excited, nervous. Okay, so now I'm going to take the green, and I missed that bud right there, but we're going to turn that bud green. And because this is already getting hard, some of this is not going to do like I wanted it to do, and I'm very messy. Don't judge. And now I'm going to grab some leaves quickly here before this burns. Oh, I like this one. This is one of my favorites too. Okay, so I'm going to put this one on top. I don't know if y'all can see this here. Okay, and I'm going to do this big one here. And you can see how far this resin goes. I mean, in these molds, if the molds aren't too deep, you get quite a bit. And you can see this is already starting to thicken up. So I'm just going to make a green flower right there. I can always use gilding wax to color it, or I can use paint to change the color of the flower. Junk in the trunk. Yes, ma'am. Sage would be beautiful with those two colors. That would be really pretty. Okay, so while these are drying, while they're setting up, I'm going to show you what you can do. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing, let me pull this across here. I'm just taking my thing here and pulling this across because, oh, and a tip, a non-professional tip that I'm not doing right now, which I should be doing, is I don't have gloves on. So yesterday I did this, and I literally had resin on me for the rest of the day. So I should have gloves on, but I'm messy, but I get the job done. So I'm not gonna sweat it. And this will all come off of the mold. These are silicone molds. All of this will come off. I am not going to be premiere there yet, Wendy. Yet I'm kind of testing the waters to see how the paint sells. I'm going to have a booth though right in the front of the store, so I'm optimistic. Okay, so let me show you what I kind of was trying to think of ways, because most people that use these molds, they use them and they paint them. Okay, and since these are already colored, I was trying to think of unique ways of using them. And so I got this little doohickey here, and I don't have my glue out. And I apologize that I'm not more prepared, but I'm here present with you guys, helping you out, trying to, where's the little one that I was going to use? Darn it. I'm looking. What color? This is, you're not funny. This is Hurricane Gray. This is what I painted. This canvas has been painted multiple times. And I had to use the Hurricane Gray to cover up the bright red that was on it. So we're going to work on that canvas tomorrow, or another one, but we're going to do something similar to that. But let me show you. Okay, so the resin cuts really easy. So one of the things I was thinking that would be really cool is if you had a little flower pot, and this is not the flower that I was going to put on here, but darn if I can find it. You know, I had everything organized, all the colors together, and then I hit the live button, and oh, here it is, and everything went south. Okay, so this could be glued right on here, okay? And then I don't have any little leaves, so look at this cute little thing. So this is this one here, if you can see. I'm looking in there. I'm on a delay now because my computer just got all jacked up. So I'm on a delay, but this right here is this right here. Okay. And so what I did was I cut this leaf off, and they cut. I'm going to show you how easy they cut. I'm going to show you how easy they cut. And because I'm live, it's not going to cut. Watch. No, I'm just kidding. So you just take a straight edge. I get these like 4-pack for $1 at the Dollar Tree. And you just go straight down and pop it off. Okay, so, and then the blade comes out. They're $1 for 25 cents a piece, so they're not perfect, but they do the job. Okay, and then I can cut off these other 2 little leaves, and I'm just giving it a little bit of a push. Okay, this one's not going to come off. Just like that. So then you could take your little flower, and I'm doing this on a small pot because that's all I have here, but I'll lay it flat so you can see. And then you could just, you know, use your imagination. Okay. And you could put some herbs in this. So I took the big leaf and I just cut it up so that it would work with this. You paint the pot, and I apologize that I'm not doing this, you know, getting all of it done on the camera, but I couldn't work everything. But so you could do something simple like this, and then maybe do a stencil like love or friend or something on the back side. It'd be really cute. And then tomorrow at 4, I'm going to show you the canvas, and I'm going to use this I've got one already prepped with the Hurricane Gray that's on my elbow. And I'm going to show you how I got this look here, and I've got some gilding ones. So I was kind of playing with it to see what would work. And I was thinking that this one would be pretty on here. And then I have a stencil that I'm going to use, and I'm just going to try and throw together, you know, something other than furniture that you could work with. You know, if you like right now, until I got those back, I didn't have any furniture to paint. So just trying to think of ways to, you know, make beautiful things, you know, and if you, and they have all different colors. So you don't have to get this particular pigment. Like I said, I don't sell these. I just got them, but they have bronze in here. They have copper, gold sand, and the other one's considered 24 karat gold. Dusk. They've got some beautiful colors, and there's probably companies that have all different colors. And I don't think you would have to necessarily get, these are kind of glimmery. I'm sure they have pigments that are not glimmery. And so you could, whatever color palette, like I love these black ones. I think these would be really pretty on a piece of furniture. to contrast. And I just love the red with this. I just think this is beautiful. Jewelry boxes. These would be really pretty on jewelry boxes. But we're gonna do that thing tomorrow. Okay, these are just about set up. I'm gonna grab some gloves though because this part is gonna be sticky. So the parts that, it's always funny how the resin that's kind of sitting flat, it always stays sticky for so long. I don't know why, because I'm not a resin expert. I just thought this was fun. Wanted to share. Okay. Here we go. So we're going to pop these out and see what happened. See what they look like. These I'm most anxious about. Okay, so let's see if they're, and see how easy this is? Look at that. Ba-dum. It's just coming right out. Now again, when you're using the other kind of resin, the pour resin, it's at least a 12-hour, if not longer, process. You have to pour them and leave them. So I poured these other ones last night, I guess about 8, and they were ready this morning when I came in here about 10. So if they're thicker though, you need to wait longer. You just get more of a pastel look when you use the quick acting one. Also, the owner of the store that I'm going to be moving into, our local news station contacted her this morning. So apparently she was on the news, and I haven't had a chance to find it. But if I do find it, now see, this comes right off this part here that was on the mold. This is kind of a salmon looking color. And you can see it's it's different. The back side stays shiny like you would think resin to be, but then this side is, yes, they are. They're Prima molds, Debbie. I know that Dixie Belle has a few still available, but if you have a Prima retailer, they can get them for you, or Etsy or something. If you see one on the Dixie Belle website, I'm happy to order them for you and have them shipped to your home. I don't have them listed on my website though, because they were limited in how many they had. But this is what this one turned out like. And as this dries more, this is going to become hard like this one. See how this one is not flimsy at all? It's just hard. But I heat these up with my hair dryer, and then I can lay them. So if I'm putting it on something that's got a little bit of a curve, I can heat it up a little bit, not too much because they'll break. But you can heat them up and put them on, especially if you throw them in your basket like I do and they dry a little bit crooked. So like if I left it like this, it would dry like this. We don't want that to happen. So here's the green with the salmon color. I think that turned out really pretty. Okay, and I'll just go back later and this will all just peel right off. See that? And actually it's even easier to get off once it's dried completely. It'll just pop right off. These molds are really fun. Okay, let's see how this one turned out. Okay, this one looks cool. Now, and also what I found in my experimentation is the clear, longer setting resin. I got more of a natural smush effect. So, I mean, is that a word, smush? Yeah. But you see how this is kind of like inside of each other because these work so quickly. I'm getting, you know, I had put in the red first, and so the mold, this was already setting up, and so I couldn't really pull them together. But, you know, it's still a cute look. And I think these would look really adorable on a bedside table for a little girl. Hey, honey, my husband's on. And what I do is I get a straight razor, not this one because of the way it's angled, but one of those angled razors, knives, little artist knife. After these are fully dry, if you can't get all the little edges off, they cut off really, really quickly. Oh, look at all the hearts he gave me. So there's that one. And then this one was just the solid. But look at the detail. Now see, this one is the solid one. Let me find the same flower. Let's see if I did the same one. I didn't do the exact same one on the, here, is this one? No. I wanted to do a side-by-side comparison. I just feel like the clear resin, the one that takes the longer setting resin, I feel like you get more detail. This to me is the most detailed out of all the mediums, whether it be, there's some people that use hot glue, they use this resin, they use the modeling clay. To me, in my personal opinion, I feel like the longer setting resin gives the best detail. And I think it must just be because it's sitting in the mold longer, warmer, and it has time to really get into the cracks. So yes, Debbie, so I think that with the longer setting resin, you have a much longer working time, like half an hour or more. So when I did these, so for instance, like this, I put in the green first, and then I kind of, let me show you on it again. So what I did was I did the green first, I put it in the mold, and then I just took the edge of my popsicle stick and I just pulled the green in here, okay, so that it was laying inside the flower here, okay? And depending on how much you use, you know, the more you use, the less control you're going to have, because it's going to start to fill the mold, which is that's kind of just the way resin works. It self-levels, and so it's going to work its way. So you want to start out with less and then add in more, okay? Because if you go ahead full hog, you're going to, it's just going to pull in to the entire thing. So then for this one here, after I did the green, I went and put the purple into the tips, okay? I added it to all the tips, and then I just kind of pulled it into the green like this, okay? And that's how I got that effect. You can't do that with the fast-acting resin, as we see here, because it just goes too fast. Okay, I hope that explained that. Okay, oh, this one's got some pink in it. I just threw a little bit of pink. Cynthia, you love using molds? Me too. I like them too. They're fun. I've put them on a couple pieces of furniture, and I've really liked the way I usually put mine on and paint them with the piece, and then I highlight it with wax or glaze or something. Okay, this one's kind of wonky. Oops. That's not sure what to do with that one. I could cut that green leaf off and use it. Not sure about the flower. But, you know, we're playing. And so then we'll pull out our leaves. And you see how easy this is? And I'm thinking about, like I said, I have a bucket that I make them and put them in. Now these are leaves so what I'll do is I'll take my craft knife, and I'll go in here and I'll cut out all these middle pieces, because this one's a little bit, there's one comes off. This might come, that's on the inside. So I'll have to cut that out with but that's pretty. That came out like a pretty color. Isn't that pretty? This is one of my favorite molds. These, I have 2 of these. And then I could take this and I could use the red gilding wax on the little berries. I don't have a brush small enough, I don't think, in front of me. But I could take the red gilding wax. I can take these off now. I could, yeah. So Debbie, the one that I goofed up on I could just use it like a white one. So like these here, I have in here, I'll show you the difference. So I have clear ones. So this is a clear one. This is the slower acting one. Okay. I've got a few of those. This is a clear one with slick stick on it. So some of them I'll put slick stick on it, but I've painted them both ways. I painted them with slick stick and without, and I've never had paint come off of them. So this is probably not a necessary step. This is one of the first ones that I did. This is a clear one, and I can tell by looking at the back of it. And you can tell the difference. So here's a white one. This is the fast acting one here. Okay. So absolutely. Let's see. This is a bluebell. Now let me show you on this one. See how it's got this edge on it here from where it poured over? I can just pop it off. Well, those little ones. That's not going to pop off, but it will cut off. Okay, and this is a dollar store knife. But see, it just came right off there. And there's a few bubbles in here, but those bubbles don't matter because if you once you paint this, you won't be able to see them. Okay, so yeah, so the ones that you don't like this, I don't like the way this turned out. I can just use this as if it were a plain one and paint over it. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know if they have glow in the dark ones. I really don't. Okay, so this one I got really overzealous on the pouring, so now it's all mushed, but this will all come off. I have a little craft knife. Y'all seen them. They have a little pointy end on them. I don't know where it is. I'm all organized back there, but I still don't know where it is. It's probably, I have a craft cabinet in my other room. It's probably in there, but this just comes off pretty easily. But I'll just cut these edges off, and they come off actually easier once they're dried. Last one. That one turned out perfect. Okay, isn't that pretty? So that is my version of doing resin with artist pigment. And see this? They just come right out. Once it's dry, it's so easy. And hey, if you end up not liking the molds, just clean them really good and make candy or something. I know some people say, don't use it for food after you've used it for resin. I don't know, soap and water. I wouldn't have any problem using these for candy after if I wanted to. Now everybody watching is like, I'm never ever eaten any candy she offers. But I would wash these with soap and water. I wouldn't put them in the dishwasher or anything, but I'd clean them. They'd be clean. But I like them. I don't like making candy, so that's not going to happen here. I do make chocolate sometimes, keto chocolate, but I just make that in a flat and eat it like that. All right, so we went over both the kinds of resin. Do y'all want me to quickly show you how to use the modeling clay? I don't know how many people are still on, but I can put one together real quick if you want. I like using this too. It just, to me, I use this one when I want to get a more rustic look. So it comes in this bucket, and I took them out and put them in these bags to make sure it would stay nice. All right, so I just kind of need it to warm it up a little bit. Again, I'm not a professional doing this. This is how I do it. Let's see, which one do we want to do? Let's do a leaf. Because I'm going to do one of these leaves because this has got really good detail in it. Okay, so you just get it on here, and you want to give it some elbow grease. It's not hard. It's just, you just got to get it in there. And what I do after I get the mold full, then I take my thumb and I start to push it away like this because I don't want to waste any. Okay, I want to keep it. I want to use just what I need. I hear somebody in the kitchen. Now my nephews are supposed to be emptying out the dishwasher, but I don't know if that's who's doing that. It might be my husband. He's impatient. He wants it done, so he does it even though they're supposed to do it. Trying to give them chores so they can keep themselves busy. So see how easy this is to work with? And it's really fun. You can use this for other things too. The boys, my nephews and I, they're 9 and 13. We've used it to make stuff with before. Like kind of like a Play-Doh. But when this dries, okay, so what you can do, this does tend to curl, okay, as it dries. If you take this out too soon and you're not ready to use it, and you take it out and you set it somewhere before it's dry, it does tend to curl up. And then if it curls up, it's kind of unusable. I mean, you might be able to use pieces of it, but I've tried heating it up before, and I mean, you might be able to heat it up a little bit to get what you want out of it. So if I were going to use this on a piece, say, I like to use this when I want it to be kind of rustic. So I'll use this, I'll show you. I use this on a clay pot. Let me grab my clay pot. Okay. So this is one side of this is not as good as the other side. I kind of made a boo-boo. So you see how much cracking's on this one? This one I put on too wet. I put this on too soon. Now I'm not saying I hate it. I kind of like it because it's a clay pot. I probably could have, if I used some sea spray over the top of this and everything, all of this would have been real, old looking. Now this one on this side is not, see how bad this one's cracked in the middle? So I put this on too wet. Okay, this was the first one I had ever done. And then this side was a little bit less wet, so it's just got some cracking. Now, if you wait for these to be almost dry and take them off and glue them on, you're not going to get the cracking that I got, okay? This was user error. So what I probably did was I took it out now, way before it should be taken out. But I'm going to pull this out just so you can see. I think I'm going to pull it out. Let me see. See how this is already able to be pulled out? So if you want it, and it's got good detail, okay, see that? And I can't tell what I'm doing because I'm on such a delay. So I don't know if y'all are getting, if y'all are able to see this, if it's focusing. But I'll try and bring it closer just in case, because I am on such a delay here. It's like a 30-second delay. But that's the clay. Now I like I like the cracking. It has its purpose. So if I were to take this now and set it down here and just let this dry, it's going to curl up. It's like this would probably curl up. Got something on it. This edge would probably curl up. It probably would end up something like this, okay? But you can leave it in here longer, and let it dry a little bit in here. You can put a something on top of it, like you could lay one of these on top of it and put a book on there if you wanted to. So I don't use this medium as often as I do the resin because of that. I mean, if I'm working with it immediately and it's a piece that I don't care if there's cracking, like a pot or a canvas. Sometimes if I'm doing a canvas and I want it to look grungy and I've got the sea spray going on, these are perfect for that. But I have ruined a few of these by taking them out and not using them right away. So this one, I'm actually going to take it out, showing y'all. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to ball it up and I'm going to put it back in the bag because I'm not ready to use it. But I have another one. Let me see. I think that one's actually got less. Let me show you. Every time I stand up, I'm always like, have y'all seen those videos, the Zoom videos that they have where people stand up and they're in their underwear or in their pajamas and they forget? Yeah, I might have that fear. Okay. So this one is also done with the clay. The flowers cracked a little bit. The leaves stayed pretty intact. The leaves are not cracked, hardly at all. But all of this is molding material. And again, this is one of the first ones that I did practicing. It's what I do. I like to work on things. Looks like the butterfly got chipped off, but this thing has been through it all. I've had this in boxes, crates, back and forth from the shop. It's been through a lot. But this is kind of what I'm saying. So the other thing that I didn't do on these is I didn't paint the pot first. If I had painted the pot first, say a darker color, then these cracks and all would look like glaze. I mean, they would look like wax. They would look like, you know, your recessed areas. And it would be a really pretty look, but the terracotta color's coming through. So that was another mistake. But I don't hate this. I mean, if this were, I could take some black paint, go in these cracks. I could really make this look nice, even though it's cracked. So don't think you can't use the modeling clay, but everybody has their own preference. I know some people love the hot glue. I did not have good luck with the hot glue. I don't think that it gives good detail at all. Not a fan. And you know, and it takes a lot of glue, you know. And I think that could get kind of costly. I mean, in my mind's eye, I don't know if it, I don't know. I just prefer, I really like the resin. And I really like the one that takes longer. So I've got these little containers. I just tossed these because, well, I put these over here, so now I can't remember which one's which. So these are going to go in the trash. You can see that this is all my cups. Everything's hardened in these. I probably would come out of here though. I pulled on it, but not necessary. These are going to go in the trash. Okay, I'm making a mess. Okay, so I think I'm done. I hope I haven't bored y'all. I should have been more prepared for this, but I hope you learned something. I will be getting some more resin. I would like to try another tabletop or something with the Dixie Belle paint. On my website, there's a picture of the table. That it's a black and white table, and it looks really cool. So I used the regular paint. I didn't do a paint pour. I used the paint. I used water and drippy method, and then I added the clear resin over the top of it. And so it looks like it's all made with resin. So the Dixie Belle paint is very versatile. If you're not already using it and you're on the fence about it, it's a great one to try. Thank you, Wendy. Wendy, I'll be calling you soon. I want to chat with you. But you guys, if you're interested in watching me paint the canvas tomorrow, this is my color palette. We've got Lucky Lavender, Amethyst, Mint Julep, Apricot, and Aubergine, and Tea Rose. And I might throw some sawmill gravy in there, maybe. But this is my color palette for my canvas tomorrow. And then we're going to add some gilding waxes and some molds and try and make something out of that. And also, I might show you also how, if I get this done, I'm going to paint the glass on these tables. I haven't 100% decided I'm going to paint the tables themselves because I like the color. But I think in this area, white, unfortunately, is a big seller. So I might be painting the tables. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to paint the tops because I don't think glass is big right now. So I painted one exactly like these before, and I painted the glass, and it turned out beautiful. And a friend of mine purchased it, and she loves it, and it's not scratched. And she's got 9 kids, so if that tells you anything about how durable it is. It's very durable. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, if you're watching the replay, please leave your comments and I will answer them if you have any questions. If you would like to, SHARE, you know what, I need a sign. So if you SHARE this video, I would appreciate it. As a small business owner, it helps me out a lot in ways that I don't understand, but it does. For everybody who shares it, Facebook sees the video as something important, and they're like, oh, maybe more people would like to see it, and so they pass it along. But that's completely up to you, and I love you guys. I love my followers. I'm really getting to know you and your personalities, and I'm enjoying it. I love what I do. And I want to thank you for coming, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Okay? Take care. Bye.